Hello, Out of the Park 25, Toronto Blue Jays fans. Welcome to another episode of our Blue Jays Sim Trade Deadline 2029 time. We last left you June 1st. The team was a few games under 500. It's gotten better since then. Don't be fooled by this 19 games out. That's just because the Boston Red Sox are 74-31. We're in the thick of the wild card. We're 55-50. And when you see that, you might remember from last episode, we were dealing with some injuries. We've had a couple more. This was going to be an uphill battle of a season for us because of injuries. But, we've made some adjustments with the roster and just kind of gutted our way to 55 wins. In the wild card, we are 2.5 games out. Remember, it's the 2 division winners and then 2 wild cards. So a smaller postseason has us battling. We're 2.5 games out. At Pythagorean, we're actually like a plus 66 run differential. We're -4 at Pythagorean. We're 2-5 in extra innings, 13-16 in one-run games. Hopefully, this run differential thing can kind of even itself out with the Yankees over time. Let's look first at a few of the injuries that we've had here. Let's go to the injured list. Martinez, you knew about. Arias, you knew about. Fluharty is a relief arm who really came into the season as kind of like the last guy in the bullpen, but has had a really good season. Put up a 1.91 ERA, but he just got hurt on the 25th of July, 2 days ago. Surgery to remove bone chips from his elbow. That sounds painful. So he's done for the year. Kendry Rojas, I believe you guys knew about. Yeah, that happened 5/25. Aaron Ashby, this is a big one. The reigning Cy Young winner who's on pace for another great season. 2.95 ERA, 3.79 FIP. And he's out for 4 to 5 weeks as of a week ago. So he'll be back for September, but that's a huge hit to the rotation. I just did restart my computer, so we'll just go ahead and, hey, McAfee, go away. Now we just need this bar to go away. There's OBS, if you guys want to see behind the scenes. Anyways, technical difficulties that I'm not going to bother to cut out because we're rolling. It's trade deadline time. I don't have time to do technical stuff when I'm a GM of a team at the trade deadline. So Ashby, that's obviously a huge injury, goes without saying. Hagen Smith is out on a rehab assignment now. He was pitching in the rotation and doing okay, like a 4.36 ERA, 4.63 FIP, both right around league average. And when you have as many injuries as we have, a league average starter, that's a good thing to have. He's made 2 appearances in the minors after missing. How much time did he miss? He went out with a sore shoulder for 6 weeks. So, yeah, he missed 6 weeks. But about to call him back up. Maybe give him one more start. I might just call him back up. And then the Tiedemann injury out for the year. That one sucks. The trade deadline is coming up, but we've already made a few trades starting back in June, I think was the first one. Did we? No, didn't make any trades in June. So in July, we traded Bryce Matthews to the Giants. Matthews seems like a guy who should be better than he was for us. He hit all right in AAA, but he just never put it together at the major league level. And the San Francisco, I shopped him around, and the Giants were like, yeah, we definitely need this guy. I don't know, the Giants scout, this fog of war thing, right? Where the Giants scout was very into Bryce Matthews to where we got Angel Janeo, we'll call him. And Angel Janeo is a really decent-looking young second baseman. You can see he came up with Cleveland, and let's look at his 162 game average because he's had some up and down years in terms of playing time. Well, not really. They're all kind of. But 3 WAR and a 113 WRC plus career. He's having a nice season with the Giants. He's been fine for us, only 16 games. Fielding at second base, he was above average for the Giants. He's a little below average for us right now. And he's about break even at his career. I'm not sure if he's a long-term solution, but he's a solution for now. We needed help. Cody Schreier and those dudes just weren't getting it done. Then needed some bullpen help because of some bad years and some injuries. It ended up in Jordan Romano getting DFA'd. Thank you for your service, but he had a 7.61 ERA and a 6.27 FIP across 36 2/3 innings, just not getting it done. So then we traded a minor league catcher that we didn't see any future with and a minor league pitcher we didn't see any future with to the San Juan Iguanas, and we got Prelander Baroa, who was a reliever having a good year for them, and he's not given up a run so far in 6 1/3 for us. 20% strikeout to walk percentage. So that was the other trade. We're starting to get healthy. I'll show you how the team's been. Kirk is having a great season in a walk here. Jazz Chisholm just keeps, trying to get more playing time, and I think I've got to give him more than he's been getting. Janeo Marino was guns blazing for a while. He put up, let's just look at Major League. He put up a 156 WRC plus in June, but just 75 in July. But we'll keep him going, hoping that he can, just break out of this little slump that he's in. Soto, this just isn't good enough. Just not good enough for $45 million a year when you're Juan freaking Soto. I actually did shop him around some, and I think I can get rid of most of the contract. At least I could at one point during the season. I opted not to. I was kind of tempted to, because this is just so much money for a guy who has just not lived up to it. Vlad, a bit of a down year for him too. It's been a good sim for Vlad, but this would be 2 of the last 3 years where he hasn't quite been Vlad-like. So would like to see more from him down the stretch as we push for that playoff spot. Kobe Mayo, that's solid. Addison Barger, solid, but again, bad defensively, the -6 zone rating. Barrero, you might remember we traded for during the last video or as part of the last video. He's been really solid, 110 WRC plus 1.6 WAR. Arias will be back at some point, I think, next month. Sal Frelick has really slumped. He was doing really well. The home run power is just gone. 363 slug, but he's still getting on base. But yeah, the WRC plus of 103. What are his monthly splits? Yeah, 126, 128, and then he's gone 78, 75. Last I checked, he was still playing decent center field. Yeah, that's decent. Would prefer him to play like a Gold Glove left or right field, but that's just where we're at right now with our roster. But he's really slumped hard. I actually didn't realize that until looking at it. Drew Burris is back from injury and doing okay. Orlando Arcia, disappointing year for him. Antonio Gomez, really just doing absolutely nothing. Should possibly look to see what I have in AAA. I don't know that I need to make a move here. I think I should. Well, I don't know. Yeah, Chisholm should get some more playing time, I think. He's playing every 4th day here. Let's bump him up to every 3rd. Let's play him over Soto some, because Soto hasn't been good. Marino's been bad for a while. Let's play him there some. I think with this starting lineup, Schreier's down because he's bad. I feel good about all my starters. Obviously, there are guys who are underperforming their potential, like Soto, but he's still I'm not going to go out and upgrade on him, right? And then my bench, I guess you would consider Chisholm a bench player, Burris and Arcia my bench. I feel good about that bench. I could always look to replace Burris, but he's solid defensively and he's been decent when he's been playing. So the pitching, because of the injuries, Hagen Smith will eventually be back. Well, Hagen Smith will be back really soon. I think at the trade deadline, I need to act as if Ashby isn't back because he's not back until September. We'll find room for him in the rotation when he comes back, obviously. Oh, Arias is back in a week, actually. That's cool. That'll help stuff out. So, Mason Black ideally is my 5th starter, or maybe even a long man if I really stock up on starters. Noble Meyer has been really good in his 3 starts. 4 1/3, 2 runs, and 6 shutout innings, 4 2/3. So he can stick in the rotation for now. I don't fully trust Beeks. Brzezicki was just a call-up. Moran is coming back off a major injury, hasn't pitched yet for us. What was it? A torn UCL. He missed a year, so you don't know what you're going to get with him. So I'm looking to add at least an arm, maybe 2 at the deadline. I've put a couple offers out there, and I can show them to you. Player trade, pending. We can delete that one. So Cleveland was shopping Bybee, and this offer's submitted, but Bybee is extreme fly ball pitcher, which I don't like. He's had some really good years. He hasn't been amazing, but he's decent. His ERA plus is 109, FIP minus 95, so he's above league average. He's got 1 more year at $8.9 million, which I like. That's cheap. That's affordable. So there's that offer. And then there is also the offer of Bobby Miller in LA, who I think is a free agent after this year. Yeah, he is. He hasn't been unbelievable. He was good last year, and he's having a good year this year, but he's kind of struggled a bit. He hasn't been great. 97 ERA plus, fit minus 100, but he's going to, what's this, Gold Glove? Yeah. But he's having a better year, and he's got pedigree. So I put in Perdomo, who is a international free agent that I signed, and I think Blanco is too. Oh, no, he was in the system. So the two of them, just to see what they say. These are just, oh, I said no way to it now. I submitted before, and he's like, let me think about it. And now he's like, no way. That was an earlier offer. So, all right. Let me see what other starters are out there, because I don't really feel like giving up the farm for a rental on Bobby Miller. Zach Gallen makes way too much money. Burns is only throwing 89 to 91. I'll pass on that. Reed Detmers has been about league average over the course of the sim, but has been good the last 2 years. I mean, he was with us, like, right? Just to take you back to the history of it. We signed him to a minor league contract after he had some injury seasons, and then he became a free agent and was traded, or no, became a free agent and signed, sorry, with the Rays. Oh, he's got another year at 6.2. I could have had him. Yeah, I don't know. We'll come back and look at him. Is D.L. Hall starting? Yeah, but he's never really been great. The walks, I guess. I don't know. I could see going for Detmers maybe. Oh, old friend of the program, Bryce Elder. Michael Grove, what's he doing? Oh, he's having a really good year. Extreme fly ball, and he's arbitration eligible. Michael Mercado. He just doesn't have enough. He's got the pedigree, but just not enough of a track record for me to make a big splash for him. Reese Olson is having a really bad year. What's JP Sears doing? He might be reasonably priced and not really doing anything that we're interested in. My whole life, like a picture of a sunny day. Yuri Perez is just going to be obscenely expensive. Not going to go there. Gallen's making too much money. Sival. So, Sival here, he is having a bad year. He had 2 good years last year. I wonder if we could get him, like, super cheap. So the Royals are paying 80% of that salary. I wonder if we could get him really cheap and just hope that we can turn him around. Let's just offer like a nothing for him. Like this guy's never going to play in the majors for me. Let's just offer him and just see if they're like, sure. You're going to give me the immediate no way on? Come on, get out of here. That's ridiculous. That's so ridiculous. All right, whatever. I'm going to the next day to see what they say about the deal that wasn't rejected right away. So we got a trade proposal. Hold on, we'll come back to you guys. Oh, cool. You only want, like, the reigning Cy Young winner, best catcher in the league, number 2 starter. Yeah. I mean, give me a break, guys. All right, Gavin Stone. I mean, Stone is a decent starter out there, but, I mean, is he even a starter? Like, he's hardly started for me. I mean, he really hasn't done much. We're also getting this guy who looks okay for Maruko, who is not really in my plans. I mean, if there's interest in Maruko that could bring me a starting pitcher, like, count me in. Oh, oops. I didn't mean to do all outfielders. Now there's, like, no interest? I mean, I just got a trade offer for him. I don't know. Let's go for another day, see if we get another trade offer. See if we can identify some guys that there's interest in based off of that. Nope, no offers that day. Like, this is not an almost. Don't tell me almost. Would be interesting to shop Kirk around, given that he's a free agent. Or Rogers. I mean, Trevor Rogers is a free agent and is out for Or sorry, never mind. I was confusing Rogers and my other starter, Ashby. Never mind. It would be interesting to shop Ashby around. I don't know. I mean, is that lame? I mean, you're going to get a month out of him. A team who's in the postseason might be like, hell yeah, dude. Corbin Burns. Yeah, nobody seems to be too excited about it. Everybody's like, yeah, we're not taking your damaged goods, bro. That's fair. That's fair. What I should probably do is, like, identify a prospect or two that I think has decent value that I'm willing to deal. I mean, honestly, like, Luis Castillo is one of my top prospects, and, like, I'm fine trading a guy this far away if he brings me something real. Probably not a rental, but, like, a pitcher, like, you know, like Bybee or something like that. But I'm not seeing. There's a couple guys that have decent years. He's not even starting. Bryce Jarvis. Like, I'm not trading a top 200 prospect for Bryce Jarvis. Brant Herter having a nice year. 2 good years in a row for Brant since he's been in the rotation. He's 30, though. No thanks. So I'm scanning these. Like, I'm scanning the potential overall, and I'm also scanning, like, the WAR for this year. That's kind of like how I do it when you have a bunch of players to look through. I don't know, man. I'm surprised there's not. You know, we can get Reed Detmers, who was in our bullpen last year, who has revitalized his career, to be fair. He was good for us last year in the bullpen. He's been a good starter this year. I mean, kind of makes me just want to, like, package another guy just for, like, poops and giggles. Like, just, like, put this guy in here and just trying to, like, not really catch lightning in a bottle. That doesn't fit here, but you guys know what I mean. Just identify a team that's like, oh, you're willing to trade this guy? Like, yeah, dude, we're way in. But this didn't really seem to move the needle much. It's like all the same guys. It's like exactly the same guys pretty much. Well, this is a disheartening hot stove at this moment. Farrer's having a great year. This guy crushed rookie ball. Now he's crushing A ball so far in 20 games. I'm not going to bump him up yet. This was one of my higher draft picks who was one player of the week playing 4 games in rookie ball, so I bumped him up to A ball, and he's hitting well. He should probably go to high A now. He's good enough too. I try to sometimes with college draft picks I'll promote him three levels in a year, but I try not to too often. Like, what's this guy's deal? 2025 round 2. He's actually pitching well in AA. He's hitting terribly. Like, I wonder if a guy like this having a good year as a pitcher has any value. The answer is no. No, not really. Not on his own. What if we put him with Luis Castillo, who's one of our top prospects? Does that change anything that was coming in with Luis? Looks like all the same dudes to me. Yeah, it's like the same exact list of dudes. That's annoying. What if we said multiplayer package? Yeah. Brady Singer is having a oh wow, Brady Singer's really good. Oh, he was in the KBO. I was like, man, look at those numbers. So wait, so he 25, he didn't pitch, and then he went to the KBO, and then he came back to the Royals and is pitching lights out. Where are the Royals in the standings? I thought they were having a good year. They're 1 game out. like, where is he in their rotation? They view him as their number 3. I mean, I feel a little cheesy making a pick trade with them at this point, but also, like, I don't care. Okay. I mean, Brady Singer seems halfway interesting, if nothing else, than to get Mike Danlin out of the rotation for now. Let's keep moving down this list here, see if there are any other interesting names that popped in. Detmers again. Cade Horton's having a decent year, but I'm not giving up this much for him. Wow, Ben Cleaver's having a really good year. He's 24 and doing really well in high A. Like, do we even care about that? Not really. There's Brent Herter again. Colt Keith. So, let me talk to you. I think Cade Horton is a bit of an interesting arm. I mean, he's been solid for them. He's not been great, but he's been solid. Do I prefer Brady Singer, though? I think so. But I wonder if I could get Cleaver for Horton. Let me go. I mean, I'm not giving up either of these guys for Brady Singer. Like no chance. Why do they want to give me Davis Schneider? I don't want him. But what if I went to my high A team and looked at my pitchers and remembered that guy's name was Ben Cleaver? Like, I wonder if they'd be willing to do this. All right, let's go for today, see what he says. All right, we've got an almost. Good God. Tiedemann has a setback in his rotator cuff. He's out for next year, too. Oh, God. He's out another 15 months. All right, trade proposal from the Orioles. I don't know, I like this guy's name, Yeatman. 25-year-old minor leaguer Yeatman that they signed as a minor leaguer. Why are they? What is this trade? No, I'm not trading you that guy. I like that guy. I can't believe this, man. I like how it says his condition was found to be worse than the pitcher is being treated for a torn rotator cuff during a routine exam. His condition was found to be worse than originally diagnosed. Like, what was worse about it? Yeah, they're not serious. They're not They're not serious about trading Brady Singer. Like, get out of here. You know, my starting DH, one of my top pitching prospects, my starting right fielder, or like one of my top infield prospects, who is 26 now, but who I still have like a lot of high hopes for, honestly, even though he did bomb at the major league level this year. It's annoying, man. All right, I'm gonna go try to make good on this trade deadline, not make you guys sit through these ridiculous offers that we're getting, and you know, hopefully I'll come back here with an update, but with an update of trades. But if I don't, you know why? Because we're not gonna make ridiculous trades. But let's see what we can do. It's August 1st. Trade deadline is passed. You can see Brady Singer has been acquired. The price came down a good bit on him. No one else really, though. Price didn't drop to anything reasonable. We gave up. This is the main guy, Marcelo Manali, who before. I mean, when you see his ratings, you're like, dude, what are you doing? He's a bullpen guy. He's only got 2 pitches. I mean, I guess if they put him in the lab and he added a 3rd pitch and developed, then you're looking at a potential stud. But he could be a really good bullpen piece in like 4 or 5 years, right? So I'm willing to deal him. I signed him as an international free agent for $400,000, and then hold on, who was the other guy? The other guy was Austin Gordon, who's 26 and was having a really nice year. But he's in Double A and he's 26, right? 2.31 ERA. I had acquired him in the draft, I think. Yeah. 2024 round 12 pick. So he's already beaten the odds by having that good of a season in Double A as a round 12 pick. But Not a guy that I saw making a difference in my major league team. So we got Brady Singer, and we got Hagen Smith back. Now, Noble Mayer, he hasn't given up a run in 3 starts, so I couldn't really take him out of the rotation. So I left him in, and I moved Mason Black to the bullpen, but we'll see what happens. We'll be getting Arias back shortly. We'll be getting Ashby back in early September. We'll be getting Ricky Tiedemann back in for the 2031 season. And, yeah, so Arias and Ashby are back. Everybody else is out for the year, and if not next year, too. Standings-wise, we're 56 and 54, and the Guardians are on a heater here. I feel like they were, like, way back at one point. Or maybe I'm thinking of Kansas City. Wait, Kansas City is too. But yeah, I don't care about Kansas City trading me a Singer. I don't know who they replaced him with in the rotation. Let's see, who hasn't made as many starts? Oh, JP France. Oh yeah, I mean JP France was having a solid year for him. I'm sure they were fine. Bringing him into the rotation and getting 2 pieces for Singer, who's a free agent. You know, when you're paying Bobby Witt Jr. $35 million a year. He's got the opt-out coming up in 2031. What's their, just out of curiosity, oh my God. Yeah, maybe they're just looking to get rid of any money they could. Who are they getting off the books? Oh, wow. They retained a ton of money on these 2 guys. A ton of money. Man, why? Like, why did you do that? Zaval had a really good year for them and then accepted the qualifying offer, so I think they're just looking to get rid of him. And they sent cash? Wow, okay. That's certainly a decision that you can make. Good Lord. Dean Kramer, I had a decent year for him too. Man, all right, whatever. I'm not going to go down the Royals AI rabbit hole. So we'll get to the end of the season here. Hopefully we can pull this off. You know, I do think this is kind of like an against all odds season, backs against the wall. It's just tough, like with the injuries we've had and some of the, then on top of that, like Soto and Vlad, neither of them really having great years. It's been a tough year, but I'm hoping we can pull through here. I'm hoping Brady Singer can give us some quality starts and can help be a part of clinching a wild card spot for us. Well, we didn't make the postseason, but we came close. We finished 1 game out from the Yankees. We went into the final 6 games, 3 against the Yankees and 3 against the Guardians, in a 3-way tie with the Yankees and Guardians. Pretty wild. And is it annoying that, like, I'll show you that in a second, but is it annoying that the AL West team won 86 games and, like, 5 teams in this division won more? Yep, that's pretty annoying. So our 89 wins, I mean, would have gotten us in a tie in the NL, but whatever, you know. Expanded standings-wise, like, I mean, we were a really good team. Plus 109, we were -3 our Pythagorean. Plus 109 was 3rd best in the AL. And, like, the Mariners, 0. Like, we're such a better team than them. It's unreal. Man, look at the Pirates over here. Plus 100 and they only won 83 games. So what were we at again? Plus 109. So you had 2 teams in the NL were better than us. So we had like the 5th best run differential in the majors and missed the postseason. So that's part of this different playoff format. I wanted to make it more challenging to make the postseason, but still a bummer. But with all those injuries that we had, and then we had some guys with down years, honestly, like I'm kind of amazed we made it that close. Almonte got hurt down the stretch too. Donlin got hurt. I still can't get over this Tiedemann injury, man. Missing 2 consecutive seasons, full seasons, because of a torn rotator cuff. What a bummer. So, yeah, let me show you. So the Yankees, we lost 2 of 3. And then the Guardians, we actually won 2 of 3. But I think at that point we were 2 games down to the Yankees maybe. What did they do in their final weekend? They might have swept whoever they were playing. Yeah, they swept the Angels. So we just kind of dug ourselves a hole. Oh, that's right. I don't have box scores for my team. So they go to the postseason and play Boston. So a bit of a bummer for us, for sure. Let's look at the team, though. So Kirk led the team in WAR and had a really good offensive season. Is that his best season? Oh, wait, no, 2027 he was really awesome too. I mean, he's been really solid. He's a free agent, but he's 30, and he wants 7 years, 24 mil. I don't know. I'm going to let him go to free agency, and sometimes demands come down a bit. Or maybe just replace him with a really, really good defensive catcher, which he is too, but like not pay for the offensive premium too. Frelick, good year. Power was like nowhere to be found. Only a 382 slug, down from 411 and 426 the last 2 years. But the on base was there. The doubles were there. It's just the home runs went bye-bye. I think something about being a lefty in Toronto suppresses them. The park factor suggests that, and I've seemed to notice that in this sim. Ganeo, he's got the he was tearing with the Giants. He was league average for us. Totally acceptable. He was a plus defensively. That's a good enough second baseman. I think what you'll see the theme is here, like this team lacks superstar performance. Like Vlad and Soto should be our superstars. They were not. And then, Tiedemann and Martinez are two potential superstars for us. They were hurt. Jazz Chisholm, what a deal this was. $2 million for him to put up 3.2 WAR in just 127 games, 96 starts, a 130 WRC plus. He's 31. Good for him. He'll go cash in somewhere. Probably won't be. I can't see it being here. Kobe Mayo, he's just kind of like a slightly above average player at this point. He's averaged 2.5 WAR the last 3 seasons with us. Maybe like a 110 WRC plus. Oh wait, never mind. 109 WRC plus. I'm sorry. So he's good. He's solid. But again, not a superstar. Vlad, down year for him if you compare it to the other years. Walk rate was up. Strikeout rate was about the same. The BABIP was at 273. His career's 294. He's all the way up at 327 last year. And the slug was down, except for, he had this one down year in 2027. But really his second worst year of the sim by a lot. 27 and 29 are pretty big steps down from his other performances. We certainly could have used a little bit more from Vlad. It would have made the difference for us. Barrero was a good trade acquisition, 89 WRC plus and played solid defense. He was a bench bat by the end, but he filled the need when Arias went down with the injury. Soto, what are we going to do with Juan Soto, man? So he's just kind of been like an all-star level player, not an MVP level player for us, and which was a bummer, but kind of passable. But this kind of performance is not going to be passable. I don't know what we're going to do. He's got 3 years, $45 million left about per year. I did explore trading him, as I mentioned. I think it was earlier in this episode, but we'll see. We'll see. It might be time to move on from him, but again, we'll still be lacking a superstar, but we'll at least have that $45 million to spread around. Junior Marino put up pretty similar numbers to Vlad, and he's making the league minimum, and he can DH as well. Will he repeat it next year? I don't know. Soto gives you a really good floor. I think this is kind of the floor for Soto. And there's value in having a really high floor, but the ceiling has just not been high enough. Barger and Burris, kind of similar seasons here in that both have established themselves as adequate major league players, but I guess Barger has been established as adequate, but not great. Burris, the 5th overall pick in 2026, we'd certainly like to see him take a step forward at some point. He's still just 24. He's only had 447 plate appearances. He was hurt some this year. He was better this year, but hoping we can see another step forward from him. That would make a big difference. Cody Schreier came back up in September and was actually pretty good. He put up a 118 WRC plus. He only played 7 games. And I actually didn't notice that, he was awful in April and May and then was better in June. And then I sent him down because of a roster crunch. I didn't notice he'd been playing better when I sent him down. So second half of the year, he was good. It's only, 30 games or so, 29 games, and 100 plate appearances. But I think he'll enter next year as our utility guy, and we hope that he can kind of make a star turn over the next season or so. Gabriel Arias, just doing his thing here, man. Doing his thing. He's got an opt-out after next year, but Gold Glove defender, solid bat. Antonio Gomez was bad again at catcher. We probably need a new plan for backup catcher. We can't have negative 1.3 WAR over 2 seasons. Pitching, I'll show you, was kind of the story of this team. Runs scored, we were 5th, which is good. Don't get me wrong. It's we just had everybody was just solid or better, but nobody was a star. Nobody was terrible. We need somebody to be a star for us. Runs allowed, we were 1st though. ERA starters 3rd, bullpen 2nd. Innings pitch-wise, Trevor Rogers, who has an opt-out after this year. I'm not convinced he's going to opt out, but he might. He was fine. He was fine. League average ERA, FIP a little below average, but 2.5 R WAR, 1.6 WAR. Would like a little better from him. Jared Jones, really solid year. A little above average in both ERA and FIP. Singer was good for us coming over, and he's cheap. He wasn't amazing. His FIP was actually below league average at 5.33. Or sorry, his ERA. His FIP was exactly league average. I think he's a solid back-end rotation arm, and if we might lose a few arms, so that has value to us. And he's going to make less than $3 million, so that's valuable. Mason Black was good. He was good for us. He was better as a reliever with a 2.81 ERA versus 4.08. I think he's a solid bullpen piece for us. Aaron Ashby missed some time, only made 25 starts, but another really good year, 2.98 ERA. He is a free agent. I'd like to bring him back, especially if I can take a year or two off this at that price. I'm fine with that. He's 31, so there's some risk there, but I'd like to free up some money, like the Soto money, in a trade to like have more budget room to play with. I think we need to I think this team, I think I could keep forward with like this core, but continue to be just kind of like a team that isn't like a serious World Series threat. A team that if they get hot could win the World Series, but we're not cream of the crop. So I think we might need a pivot this offseason. I'm not sure how we're going to do it, but would like to bring him back. Hagen Smith was really solid. He got pushed to the pen at the end of the year, but was really good for us. This is our 20th overall pick from 2024. He's a member of the rotation next year. Dylan Cease managed to stay healthy all year, pitching out of the pen. He was really good. Hopefully he can go. He's looking for more money than we're going to pay him, and hopefully he'll go get that from somebody. Noble Mayer, the guy we brought in a trade, 2.61 ERA and 86 and a third. I think if we have a 3-4-5 of like Smith, let me think of the order, like Smith, Mayer, Singer, I think that's acceptable. Now we do have Jones and probably Rogers coming back, so do we need Ashby? I think so. Like if you then push like Singer or Mayer or somebody to the pen, that's 6 really good starters, and you're likely going to need 6 starters over the course of a season. Baroa was solid with the 3.98 ERA. Rogers, solid year for him. Coleman was fine. He was fine. Beeks was not good. He didn't meet his vesting option, so he'll be a free agent. Moran will be arbitration eligible. He had missed like pretty much the entire year before almost. He had a 5.09 ERA, but the FIP was 3.84. The strikeouts were there, but the walks were really bad. His arbitration estimate is 4.2. I think that's fine. I'll likely bring him back, but we'll see. Quentin Lowe came up at the end of the year. He pitched well in AAA and then pitched well for us, 4 2/3 shutout innings with a solid FIP as well. Yeah, so I'm not exactly sure what we're going to do. I'll get into that more in the next video, but it's an interesting offseason for us because we have a lot of like what ifs. Like Vlad has a player option. I think he'll pick up that option. Trevor Rogers, I think he could opt out. I think 18.2, he could opt out. So if they both opted out, that would be a crazy amount of money to free up. But we got to bring back Rogers or Ashby. I almost prefer Ashby in a way, but I don't know if that's going to be possible. Kirk, I think we'll let go to free agency and see what happens. Jared Jones will definitely pick up his $10.5 million team option. So those are a lot of big things for the offseason. Juan Soto, I think I'm going to try to deal him. It just hasn't been good enough, and we can spread that $45 million around other places and try to make this team a bit better. We have a lot of solid major league players. We just don't have people performing. We didn't have anybody perform like a superstar this year, and that really hurt us. I think Vlad could come back and be a superstar for us for another season, but we need somebody. We need another star, I think, and I don't know where that's going to come from. Jackson Holliday is pending free agent. This is crazy. If the O's might not re-sign him. Gunner's gone, Adley's gone, Holliday's about to be gone. Look like he's going to be 26, hitting free agency at 26, and look at the numbers he's put up. Dude, if this is real life, he would be like breaking Ohtani's record. What a crazy amount of money he's going to make. It'll be interesting to see what he makes in this game. I bet it'll be around like between 30 and 40 million for like 8 years or something. I don't know. Maybe we'll jump into that. I'm hesitant to make my stars lefty bats, though, to count on lefty bats as stars. I haven't seen that work out too well in this sim in Toronto. I don't know, those of you who play the Blue Jays more often, that's like a thing. But, the park factors suggest it could be. The average is low. The home runs for lefties is way low. I didn't realize it was such a bad park for triples. That's wild. So, I don't know that I want to go get a big power hitter lefty bat. I think that's possibly a reason why Soto's power numbers haven't been where they are. If you look at his slug for us, it's 477, which is way below where it has been for other teams. I mean, San Diego, another park that can be kind of tough on hitters, he was 488. So maybe this park isn't good for a left-handed superstar, which would mean Jackson Holliday isn't our guy either. But I don't know. That'll be for the next episode, though. That's just kind of some initial thoughts on where I'm leaning to go in this offseason. But we'll get into that in the next episode, and we'll recap the postseason too. We'll I want to look back at like the awards so far for the Sim 2. We'll do that next episode. So I appreciate you guys watching. If you can if you can support the channel on my Patreon page in the description, I appreciate it. But either way, I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.